Okay, so here we are again in another video, and today I'm gonna go pretty fast because I have to go for holidays, but well. So the day started with DXY. We had nothing to left for me. I don't look at this. I just saw like some accumulation, then it broke a structure here. Here we had sellers because it reacted to the previous daily high. We broke a structure again to the upside to induce buyers probably. And um, yesterday I wasn't really focused, okay? So as I'm trying to understand some things and well, and try some things, so yeah. So we had this break here, break of structure and mitigation. I don't usually trade these mitigations as well. It's pretty difficult probably. The break of structure is here, the true one. Because we can see the reaction here, okay? So I can expect that this is the true break of structure, break, and then it takes this liquidity and boom. So yeah, it looks easy, but it's not. Okay, so well, I had this marked up as I saw this reaction here, and yeah, here we have a lot of liquidity probably. So we had all this liquidity. I'm not taking the previous daily low. I expected this to be taken, but maybe we could have some reaction. Maybe I overcomplicated some things yesterday. Um, well, we broke this structure to the downside, and so this liquidity too. And I wasn't sure because I didn't like those weeks. So yeah, it broke, it mitigated, and then it moved to the downside. Relevant liquidity here on M5 or here probably. We had a small reaction here and then continuation to the downside. Break of structure. As you can see, reaction, break of structure. It took that liquidity, but it went to the downside to take all the liquidity. Okay, so I was looking for a buy here, but it would have been on a stop loss probably. I don't know how to identify these things. Okay, maybe just probability, and sometimes it's going to be good, and sometimes it's going to be bad or stop loss. Not bad at all. Okay, here GU we had a downtrend. The thing here is that it didn't fake to the upside and then move to the downside, so I don't really like this. Maybe yes, because after this big move here, I don't think we have a lot of liquidity. But yeah, but who knows, okay? So we had this movement to the downside, and I don't know if we're gonna see a continuation after these weeks. But well, I was just trying this break and retest, like this kind of support resistance, but I think Asia midline is enough. So we had this movement to the downside. Here we had some tricky moves. It induced the downside here, creating liquidity. It took that relevant liquidity. I didn't like the week 2, break of structure, mitigation, and boom, to the downside. And here was pretty simple, as we broke a structure, took this relevant liquidity on M5. As you can see, this week is lower than this candle open. So yeah, for me, it's relevant liquidity, and boom, to the upside again to take that previous daily high. Okay. Then is this the one? Yeah. USD JPY, more or less the same. Previous weekly high here, not affecting all this shit. So we can see that here it goes to the upside, and the strength is like smaller. It is losing strength. Okay. So I can recognize this pattern sometimes, and now I see it, and I know that sometimes I saw that. But well, Now we had a break to the upside, taking the previous daily high, which I suppose we had some liquidity there. Now I see it so clear, so like I have a lot of clarity, but then when you are there in live, it's pretty difficult, okay? So it took that, it created a fake break here, then it took the relevant liquidity on M5, and it broke extractor again here, okay? Here we had some relevant liquidity, which I was looking. I even placed a sell here because I'm studying that usually when it breaks some structural lows on H1 before 9 a.m. it continues the trend. So I placed a trade here, but I wasn't sure. I eliminated that, and then yeah, it created all of these, and boom, moved to the downside. Okay. As you can see, it accumulated a lot of liquidity here. We had round liquidity on M1, and it accumulated liquidity here, round liquidity on M5. So probably it took that liquidity on M1 here. So you can see it took this liquidity and what, and then it took that liquidity again. So yeah, interesting. USD more, well, here it was more beautiful as we had all this liquidity here. Then it took the previous daily high, so this wasn't really necessary, okay? So this is just liquidity on H1, but it was an accumulation, so I just had to wait and see if it broke down or if it broke up, okay? I just make it more difficult than it is, okay? So here we had previous daily high, liquidity to the upside, and previous daily low, liquidity to the downside. So I just had to wait, and in the end it took the previous daily high. Maybe you could have looked for a trade here or something, but pretty difficult. It took that, break of extractor here, and well, here we had some liquidity left as it broke up and then broke down, some trial liquidity in M5. It took that and boom, movement to the downside, and took the previous daily low. So it was, maybe I overcomplicate things sometimes, and it is not necessary. And to finish, USD CAD, more or less the same, but here it's this insulting, okay? This is insulting because this probably means that we're going down. For the US, as we have all the buyers here, like this is all buyers, so we will see, but yeah. Yeah, previous daily highs down there, so not necessarily this. This one is much more difficult for me. So we have nothing clear on H1, and this liquidity is not relevant, so yeah, nothing for me here, okay? So well, I hope you like it, and see you in 1 week, because I don't think this week I'm going to record anything. If I can someday, I'm going to do it, but I don't think so, okay? So well, I hope you like it, and see you in a week. Bye bye.